AITA for not tolerating a guest's aggressive behavior and blocking his parking spot? So here's the situation. I work at a hotel that has very limited parking. Of course, guests sometimes get creative when it comes to parking, and we end up having to deal with people parking in all the wrong spots. There are multiple times when cars have blocked our front entrances, cars that weren't even on the system, just random guests who didn't care. Me and a few of the other staff usually park in a curbside spot near the entrance ramp so that we can move our cars quickly if we need to open the entrance for anyone. However, this sometimes leads to one of the handicap spots being slightly blocked off for large vehicles, like campers who would have a hard time parking in it if they came through that entrance. A few days ago, I was about to relieve my coworker at the front desk, and one of the guests came up and immediately started yelling. "Guest, someone's blocking the front parking lot entrance." Me, "There's another entrance on the other side of the lot you can use." Guest, "But it's blocking the spot I'm trying to park in." He was raising his voice like I had just told him to let his 2-year-old red berserk. Me, internally, "Okay, cool, let's see which one he's complaining about." I followed him outside, and of course he had the tiniest SUV I've ever seen, and he wanted to park in the one handicap spot that I had parked next to. I could tell he could easily fit in there, no problem. So, I did what I always do when the spot is needed. I moved my car. Me, "Oh, that spot? No problem. I'll just move my car so you can park." Guest, exploding, "That's your CAR? Are you trying to F***CK with me or what?" Me, "Yep, that's my car." Guest, shouting, "Why the F***CK did you park there?" Me, "So I can move if people need space or to exit." At this point he's practically frothing at the mouth. I ignored the screaming and simply moved my car out of the way so he could park. He pulled in and I went back to my spot. Guest, still yelling, "You're being AF***king smartass or what?" Me, "Excuse me?" Guest, screaming, "Why did you park there? How the F***ck am I supposed to leave now?" I pointed out the obvious. Large open spaces around him and 2 entrances that he could easily exit from. Me, "Or you can just let me know when you need me to move my car." Guest, still enraged, "You're a f***ing employee? Why the FCK are you parking there?" Me, "Because I'm an employee?" He seemed to lose whatever shred of calm he had left. Guest, threatening, "I'm going to smash your F***king head OFF." At this point I've heard it all before. Most of the time, it's just empty threats from people who know they won't do anything. Still, I was getting tired. Me, "Okay." Then I moved my car and parked it in one of the regular spots where it would be out of the way. This did not sit well with the guest, who kept yelling as I went back inside. He started berating my coworker who was covering the front desk, spitting out a bunch of made-up accusations. I told my coworker to ignore him, and he eventually stormed back to his room, still yelling. I wanted to call the cops on him for his behavior, but I know how useless they can be. I've had past experiences where they've done nothing, and I didn't feel like wasting my time. Instead, I put him on the DNR, do not rent, list, making sure to block him from booking with us again. Then, I noticed something that made me smile a little. The guest had forgotten to turn off his front headlights. Normally, I'd be polite and let guests know about their lights, but with everything going on, I completely forgot. I watched as the lights slowly dimmed, and eventually, they turned off completely after being left on for several hours in the cold. Shortly after, I saw the guest rush out, clearly frustrated, and when he came back in he was fuming. He was trying to get someone to come help him with the issue, but, of course, no one was available to jump his car. By the time my shift ended, he was still on the phone trying to get someone to come help him out. I, on the other hand, was heading home, smugly remembering that I had both jumper cables and an emergency starter in my car. Edit. For those wondering, the guest didn't have a disability permit, and he didn't really have any legitimate reason to park in the handicap spot except that he didn't want to park somewhere else. But we don't actively check for permits, and honestly at that point I was more focused on dealing with his aggressive attitude.